Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Um, okay, I'll continue where I left off. Alright, it'd been unfair for him to doubt them just because they'd gotten the information quicker than he had. So you see, Mr. Hazuki, we were planning on going upstairs. We're right here right now. Yes, I agree with you. We can't get out this way. And the rules also say that the lower floors will be forbidden. If we have to go upstairs anyway, we should head for the top floor first, then try to find a way to take off these collars. Even if that doesn't work out, we can find out where we are if we get to the roof. Meanwhile, Sakumi and Nagisa were having a discussion of their own. Though it was more like Nagisa was pestering her with one word after another. Your uniform is cute, Sakumi. Thank you. Sakumi looked around as she gave Nagisa a polite little nod. Meanwhile, Nagisa was looking at her uniform from all different angles with great interest and nodding to herself. That's so nice. I wish I could be a student again. It looks good on you, Sakumi. Nagisa went back up to look straight at Sakumi and gave her a big smile. Thank you. Those clothes look good on you too, Nagisa. You think so? Thank you. Nagisa lifted the edge of her skirt and gave it a little wave. When she did, her wide skirt shook everywhere. Actually, my friend has an outfit just like this. Sakumi gave Nagisa a little smile. Same with my friend. Well, of course it does. It's a uniform. The two of them looked at each other and laughed. Sakumi calmed down a little bit after seeing Nagisa like that. She'd been at her wit's end all this day. She hadn't had a single chance to relax ever since she woke up. But Nagisa's kind voice and kind smile and gentle voice allowed her to forget all that. And the stuff they were talking about wasn't anything to get nervous about either. Basically, whenever she was talking to Nagisa, she was back to the way she usually talked to her friends. Perhaps Nagisa simply didn't understand the situation, but even so, Sakumi was grateful for her.
そうだ。さくみさんもお揃いする？
Oh, I know. Why don't you get an outfit just like mine? Then we can be a pair. Huh?
帰ったらさ、私の服を何着かに作ろうってあげる。さくみさん可愛いからきっと似合うと思うんだ。
Sorry, 1 second. Okay, back now. Once we get back, I'll let you pick something out from my wardrobe. I know it would just look cute on you. When we get back. When she heard that phrase, Sakumi, tears welled up in Sakumi's eyes.
さくみさん、どこか痛いの？大丈夫？
Are you in pain, Sakumi? Are you okay?
平気です。なんともないです。
I'm fine. It's nothing. When we get back. Such a casual expression. Normally, Sakumi wouldn't think anything of it. But after getting kidnapped, locked in this place, and seeing a body, the impression of it hugely changed.
ぜひお願いします。私もそういうの着てみたいです。
I'd love that. I'd just love to try one of those on. Sakumi wiped her tears as she gave a huge smile.
宗一君？
Fumika followed Soichi's gaze when she noticed he was looking to the side.
ああ、さくみちゃんね。あんまり可愛いからって見とれてちゃダメよ。
Oh, Sakumi, huh? Look, don't get carried away just because you find her attractive, okay? Fumika gave a mischievous smile and elbowed Soichi. That's not what it was at all.
わかってるわよ。渚さんのおかげでちょっと余裕が出てきたみたいね、さくみちゃん。
Yeah, I know. Looks like she's managed to cheer up a little bit thanks to Nagisa. Fumika stuck out her tongue a bit and apologized to Soichi. If you know that, then just say that in the first place. Soichi nodded with exasperation.
渚さんのマイペースは才能なんだろうな。
Nagisa sure has a talent for getting people to travel to the beat of her own drum, huh? Hazuki smiled kindly when he saw Sakumi talking happily.
でもよかったわ、元気が出て。ちょっと心配してたのよ。
I'm glad she managed to cheer up. I was a bit worried about her. Anyone would be after seeing a body like that. Anyone would be the same in their boat.
でも宗一君は大丈夫そうよね。状況はさくみちゃんと同じでしょ。
But you're in the same situation as Sakumi. You seem to be doing pretty fine yourself, Soichi. Well, this isn't the first time I've seen a dead body. Fumika's smile faded at that moment.
余計なこと聞いたわ。
Sorry, I shouldn't have asked. Fumika lowered her head in a rare display of seriousness. Nah, don't worry about it. It's okay. And besides, I am a guy after all. Unlike Sakumi, who was frail and wasn't suited to defending herself, Soichi was in good shape. Unlike Sakumi, he could probably at least defend himself if the going got tough.
その言い方 さんには私に対する敵意があるわ。
Sounds like that sounds like you're being hostile towards me. Fumiko was just as taken aback as Soichi. One second, sorry. Sorry, misread the previous line. Fumiko was just as calm about this as Soichi. Perhaps because of that, she hadn't been aware that he'd been treating her like a girl. Or a woman. No, it's not what I meant. It's because you're an adult, that's all.
今度は年齢を上げつらうのね。もういいわ。私今から取り乱して泣き叫ぶから。あとはよろしく。
So now you're bringing up my age? Fine, forget it. I'm gonna go cry now, so you better apologize when you're done. Please cut me some slack. Soichi couldn't help but smile. Hazuki followed suit. Not you too, Hazuki. Seriously, cut me some... And then, just when Soichi looked at Hazuki, Soichi saw a wooden stick heading straight towards Hazuki's head at blinding speed. Hazuki was knocked down before Soichi could warn him. Hazuki's eyes went wide at the sudden turn of events. Hazuki, look out! Oh wait, hold on, sorry, I think I mistook something. Hold on, let me just go back. Oh, okay, sorry, misread that. Soichi pushed Hazuki away before he warned him. Caught completely off guard by sudden turn events, Hazuki could only stare at Soichi in shock. Yep, sorry about that. Alright, let's continue. The wooden stick cut right through the air Hazuki had been standing just a moment ago, and fell to the floor with a loud clunk. Whoa! Hazuki fell to the floor. He picked up the stick from the floor. Damn, so much for a sneak attack. Standing there with a daring grin on his face was none other than Tezuka. He held the wooden stick in his hand. He'd been the one who just tried to attack Hazuki. What do you think you're doing, Tezuka? What do you think? I saw an opening, so I tried to attack. Tezuka held the stick with his right hand and tapped into his left palm a few times. The sight of it was oddly threatening, and Soichi instinctively took a step back. Soichi felt like he was going to instinctively take a step back. No, don't fall back. Nagisa and Sakumi and Nagisa are there. Soichi scolded his cowardly self. What the hell are you doing with this crowd, Mitsurugi? Every last one of them are deadweights, aren't they? Tezuka chuckled as he looked around the rest of Soichi's group. Hazuki, hurry up and get to your feet. Soichi was breaking out into a cold sweat. Though it was only a stick, Tezuka was still armed, and at that moment, Soichi was the only one capable of fighting him in that moment. They had a chance of winning if Hazuki got to his feet. But right now, it was hard for him to look out for everyone.
ああ、それともあれか全員騙して勝とうってか確かに弱者につけ込むのも詐欺の基本だよな
Or what? Are you trying to trick them all and win? I guess it is true that taking advantage of the weak is the basics of a con game.
葉月さん
Fumiko reached out for Hazuki. He shook his head a few times and took her hand. For some reason, Tezuka took a step back when he saw that.
まあいいさ不意打ちは失敗長いな無
Well, whatever. My sneak attack failed, so no use in sticking around. And just as Hazuki stood up, Tezuka turned around and broke off into a run. His timing couldn't have been more perfect. For a moment, Soichi just stood in dumbfoundment and watched him run away. Wait, Tezuka!
いや行かせた方がいい
No, just let him go. Soichi tried to follow Tezuka when he came back to his senses, but Hazuki stopped him. Huh? So Hazuki walked up to Soichi's side.
僕らには手に余る相手だよ
He's beyond our capabilities. Hazuki slapped the dust off his body.
ともかく助かったよ宗一君危うくあの棒切れで殴られて大怪我をするところだった
At any rate, thank you for saving me, Soichi. That stick could have really hurt me if you hadn't warned me in time. I'm just glad you're okay. Hazuki didn't look injured from what Soichi could tell. Sakumi, Nagisa, are you guys okay too?
私は大丈夫なんですが匠さんが
I'm fine, but Sakumi's... What about Sakumi? Soichi turned around to find, Sakumi sitting where she was.
追ってこないかなるほど
So they're not chasing after me, huh? I see how it is. Tezuka lowered the stick he was carrying after looking behind him. Oops. Soichi's group wasn't chasing him. He had no need to stay on guard.
慎重なのか臆病なのかあの反応だと臆病の方だろう
Are they being careful, or are they cowards? Judging from that reaction, I'd bet on the latter. Tezuka remembered how Soichi's group had been.
まともに反応したのは三剣だけあとはあの受付嬢もだなしかしあの女は度胸はあっても戦力外だな
Mitsuri was the only one who reacted properly. Well, I guess that receptionist lady might have too. But though she's got guts, she doesn't have power to back it up. Tezuka only saw Soichi as a threat, it seemed.
あのおっさんは不意打ちに気づいてもいなかったしその後の反応も悪い喧嘩慣れしてないなあれ後のお嬢ちゃん二人はどうなんだと
That the old fart didn't notice my surprise attack, and he reacted slowly after that too. Probably not used to fighting. And those two ladies are out of the question. Tezuka tapped the floor as he thought.
戦うならやはり三剣からか。あの感じならあいつさえ潰せばあとはどうとでもなりそうだ。
If I'm gonna fight one, it'll have to be Mitsurugi, starting with Mitsurugi. Judging from what I saw, crushing the rest of them will be a piece of cake once I take care of him. Tezuka smirked.
どうやら予想通りの連中みたいだな。こりゃ確かめに行く意味がなかったか。
Looks like those guys are just as I expected. Guess there was no reason to check him out after all. The reason he attacked Soichi's group was to test him out. That's why he fled as soon as he got the information he needed.
戦えばすぐに倒せる連中だが、どうしたものか。
They'll probably go down easy in the fight, but what should I do? He crossed his arms and thought.
しばらく泳がせておく方が単独行動の俺に有利かもしれないな。残りの連中の出方がわからない。今は的は多い方がいい。
Maybe I should let him go and focus on acting by myself for now. I don't know where the others are. Right now, it'd be best to have as many targets as possible. The more important than Soichi's group was Nagasawa or the people he hadn't met yet. That was what Tezuka thought.
万が一もなくはないだろうしな。まあ、頑張ってくれや、三剣くん。
Besides, you're not going anywhere even if worst comes to worst. Well, try to hang in there, Mitsurugi. Tezuka grinned as he looked back in the direction of Soichi's group one more time.
面白くなってきたな、確かだな。
Things are definitely starting to heat up, that's for sure. And so Tezuka walked off, his body literally trembling with excitement.
宗一君行っちゃったみたいよ。
Looks like he's gone, Soichi. Just saving here since it's a new scene. 1 second. Okay, here we go. Fumika said that she came back from scouting the hall up ahead. Was it really for the best to let him go?
仕方がないさ。僕らも人間だよ。
There was nothing we could have done. We're humans ourselves. Hazuki comforted Soichi as he slumped his shoulders. Yeah. He nodded, but Soichi still sighed. After they started to move again, they saw someone familiar down the hallway. They saw someone new down the hallway. That person was either in their late 20s or early 30s. And sorry. Okay, I adjusted the audio levels. How's it sound now? I tried lowering the microphone a little bit. Just testing again for audio purposes. How's it sound now? Okay, I'll keep going like this then. Alright, where was I? Oh, right. There was a man in his late 30s and early 20s, and while he wasn't terribly tall, he was still a very well-built individual with intense features. They'd planned calling out to him at first, but they'd hesitate once they saw him holding a steel pole in his hand. Perhaps he would have been willing to have a peaceful discussion. But with them only having just come back from Tezuka's attack, they found themselves instinctively on guard. But the man disappeared before they could make up their minds. Besides, I think she's a bigger problem than that man right now. Hazuki whispered low enough so that only Soichi and Fumi could hear him. His gaze turned right behind Soichi. Sakumi. Soichi turned around. Sakumi was still cowering on the spot, staring lifelessly at the floor. She'd been then like that ever since Tezuka's attack. There were those who were playing along with the game. Someone had tried to kill them. Faced with those facts, what cheer Nagisa had begun to regain after meeting up with Nagisa and Hazuki had been replaced by that huge shock.
さくみさん、もう大丈夫だよ。行っちゃったって。
It's okay, Sakumi. We're safe now. He's gone. She didn't even look up at that voice. The good cheer that had once healed her heart proved to be ineffective now. How do I put this? Hazuki spoke up again as he looked at Sakumi and Nagisa. I feel like she might be the one reacting the most naturally out of all of us. Huh? I think deep down there's still a part of us that believes this is all a joke. That's why we haven't ended up like her. Or maybe we've just seen one too many movies. Hazuki smiled wryly. It's not that she's weak. It's that we're still running away from trying to escape reality, huh? Soichi felt there was truth in what Hazuki said. Anyway, we can't keep standing around forever. The staircase is just up ahead. Hazuki urged everyone on and began to walk ahead at the head of the group. Sakumi, there's still broken furniture around, so watch your step. Yes. Soichi led Sakumi by the hand. Now she was being forced to walk around. Both her voice and her steps were heavy. Her focus was so low that she'd stumbled on debris on her feet for a while now. That's why, so Soichi had to keep her standing each time.
そいつくん
It was then that Hazuki called out to Soichi from up ahead. Okay. Wait, hold on a second. He and Fumika had gone up ahead and left Sakumi, Soichi, and Nagisa a little bit behind. Yes, what is it? Soichi could see Fumika and Hazuki from where he was.
ちょっと来てくれ。どうやらここの階段は使えないみたいなんだ。
Come on over here. It doesn't look like we can use this staircase. Two of them have gone to scout the stairwell like thing they'd seen on the map. What do you
見
mean?
てもらった方が早い。さくみさんも渚さんも連れて一緒に来てくれ。
It's easier to see for yourself. Take Sakumi and Nagisa over here too.
わかりました。
Understood. Nagisa responded immediately, but Sakumi remained silent. Come on, Sakumi, let's go over there. Okay. She barely responded to Soichi. Looked up at his face briefly, and then resumed looking at the floor again. This is... Soichi gasped when he saw what Hazuki and Fumika had been indicating.
そうなのよ、宗一君。ここの階段は塞がれているの。
That's right, Soichi. The staircase is blocked. Fumika frowned. As she said, the stairwell to the second floor was blocked off. There was debris stacked up to the ceiling, and they were all kept in place by, I know. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. And they were held in place by several layers of barbed wire. It was a bit lacking compared to what was blocking the exit to this building. But it was enough to keep anyone from getting past it.
もう一箇所ぐらい行ってみた方がいいんだろうが、どうやらこのバツ印がついている階段は使えないって意味のようだね。
Probably best to check another one, but it seems that stairwells marked with an X mark are unusable. Hazuki turned around as he pointed to his map on his PDA. Yeah, it looks that way. Okay. The group had been walking around a while in search for a stairwell or elevator that would take them to the second floor. The map depicted 5 spots that appeared to have stairwells, and 2 for elevators. But oddly enough, 4 of the stairwells and 1 of the elevators were marked with an X. But since the map didn't come with any sort of explanations, they had no choice but to check them out for themselves.
要するに階段一つとエレベーター一つしか使えないってことよね。
So basically, we can only use a single stairwell and elevator, huh?
多分ね。僕もそう思う。
Probably. That's what I was thinking, at least. Hazuki answered Fumika's question, but her frown remained all the same.
どうしたんですか、ふみかさん。
What's wrong, Fumika? Nagisa asked that when she saw the look on Fumika's face, but Fumika looked up, slowly.
多分私の考えすぎだと思う。
No, I'm probably just overthinking things. She gave Nagisa a smile. Though she didn't say it, Fumika was worried that since there are only 2 ways up to the 2nd floor, others would be waiting for them in ambush. Okay, come on. However, the ultimate question remains: if those players were people who are willing to play the game and harm others, while also checking out the stairwells and elevators just like their own group. So at this point, that Fumika dismissed her thoughts as a product of her overactive imagination.
そうですか。
Oh, I see.
心配させてごめんなさいね。
Sorry for worrying you. Unfortunately, Fumika's hunch was right on the mark. The group reached the unmarked stairwell, only to see most unwanted company standing around there.
なんてこと。手塚くんだわ。
Crap, it's Tezuka. Fumika looked up at the ceiling. Fortunately, Tezuka hadn't noticed their group yet. But he'd taken up watch on a wooden box in front of the stairs, his stick on one shoulder as he calmly smoked a cigarette. Getting past him without being spotted would be literally impossible. Tezuka. Sakumi's hand tensed up the moment that she heard that name. As such, Soichi, who was still holding her hand, could tell just how, panicked she was. Sakumi, calm down. But if he attacks us again... Sakumi shivered with fear. I'll do something about it. I may not look it, but I've got, but I'm pretty confident in my own strength. Besides, he's only got a stick. I think I can take care of him. Though he said that to pacify Sakumi, in reality, Soichi was an amateur when it came to fighting. He never got into a single fight in his whole life.
なんだ、どうしたんだろう。
What's wrong?
おじさま？
Mr. Hazuki?
手塚君の様子がおかしい。
Tezuka's acting weird. Hazuki had been watching Tezuka the whole time. As he did, he noticed Tezuka suddenly throw away the cigarette he'd been smoking, and his face tense up. His expression was stern, and he was looking dead ahead. It was a different direction from where Soichi's group was, but whatever it was seemed to have caused attention.
どうやら油断ならないのが来たようだ。
Just had to get someone who knows what he's doing. Tezuka could feel in his bones that the man approaching was not one to be trifled with. He had a collar, so he was in the same situation as Tezuka himself, but there was something clearly different about him from everyone else he'd seen up to this point. Like Tezuka, he was also holding a long pole. But unlike Tezuka, his was metallic, and he was dragging it along with him. As such, the pole scraped on the floor and made a loud noise every time he stepped forward. The man was well built. But what caught Tezuka's attention the most was how the man wasn't even slightly phased even after seeing him, and how his speed remained the same despite seeing Tezuka up ahead.
妙な具合になってきたぞ。
Not exactly trying to endear yourself, are we? Tezuka threw away his cigarette and stood up. But Tezuka wasn't one to be fooled with either. Though his tone was quite serious, his trademark smirk never faded. Tezuka raised his stick and approached the man.
あんた、何者だ?
Who the hell are you? But when he got a closer look at him, Tezuka could tell this man was much more dangerous than he was. This guy's cut from the same cloth as me, eh?
どうだろうな。お前が俺を素直に通すかどうか次第だ。
Good question. The answer depends on whether you'll let me pass or not. The man's voice was deep and strong. His reflexes and agility left no openings for attack either. The dull shine on the silver collar had never looked more ominous than it did on that man. It's too dangerous to leave roaming free. Should I take him out now, or... The problem was just how much the man knew. If he'd been on his own up till now, perhaps it'd be to his advantage to negotiate with him. No, if he'd been on his own up till now, then Tezuka had the advantage in negotiating. However, Just then, the man's eyes focused on what lay behind Tezuka. His attention was completely off Tezuka now. Mitsurugi's gang, eh? Tezuka turned around, looked behind him to see what caused interest, and then he saw a group of familiar faces heading for the staircase. It seemed they were trying to go upstairs while Tezuka was distracted by the man. But it's not going to be that easy, Mitsurugi. Hold on a second. Tezuka used that moment to take the man's distraction to swing his wooden stick at him with all his might. The man left an opening. It was a 1 in 1,000 chance. All other plans in his head completely abandoned him. And Tezuka tried to take down the man. However, though he intended to take down the man if he could, Tezuka didn't believe he was soft enough to go down that easy. That was the greatest evaluation Tezuka could have ever given.
いいぞ、こっちに来る様子はない。今のうちに登ってしまおう。
Good, they're not going after us. Now's our chance to get upstairs. Hazuki watched Tezuka and the man as he beckoned to the rest of the group.
あの二人戦ってるの？
Are those two fighting?
そうらしいが、こっちも気にしている暇はないな。さっさと行かないと、次は我々だ。
It seems like it, but we can't. But we don't have any time to watch. We have to get going. Wait for me, Fumika. Fumika and Nagisa passed right by Hazuki and climbed up the stairs. Sakumi, let's go. Soichi had to practically drag Sakumi up the stairs with him. She'd completely frozen up when she saw Tezuka. She was in no state to run by herself.
ソイチ君、手を貸そうか。
Do you need a hand, Soichi? No, I'm fine. Soichi took Sakumi up the stairs with him. Though he was basically carrying Sakumi, Soichi's speed didn't slow at all. He was going just as fast as Nagisa.
あの男の人を利用する格好になってしまったが、頭に手塚君とぶつかる気にもなれないし、我々としては微妙な気分だ。
We may be using that man, but I'm in no mood to get in a straight-up fight with Tezuka either. Strange feeling if I do say so myself. Hazuki caught up to the group while keeping an eye out behind him. Though he was reaching his older years, he was still rather swift of foot for his age. Let's apologize to him if we ever see him again.
ああ、それがいいな。
Yeah, that sounds like a plan. And so the group left the first floor.
思ったより早く上がってきたのね、あの5人。
I'm just gonna make a save here. Continuing, okay. 1 second. I'm gonna take a very quick break, like 2-3 minutes. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back now. I'm gonna continue. Just 1 second. And here we go. Those 5 made up here faster than expected. Golda hid from a place where she could overlook the second floor stairwell hall and watched as Soichi's group hastily ran up the stairs.
臆病だけど思ったより抜けれなかったってことなのかしら。
They may be cowards, but perhaps they're more cunning than I gave them credit for. Golda was all by herself. She claimed she was going to meet up with Reika, but Reika was nowhere to be seen. She leaned against the large planter that she was hiding behind and chuckled. The look on her face was cold, or, to put it in a bad way, bored.
とはいえ、5人は多いよね。なんとかしないと。
However, 5 people is a large group. I'll have to do something. Golda reached into her handbag and pulled out a PDA.
おっと、こっちじゃなかった。
Oops, wrong one. Golda put the PDA back in her bag and pulled out a different one.
こっちじゃないとまずいよね。
Once we do some of this, things won't be good. She operated her PDA in tune with her words. She operated like one would with the ease one would with their favorite remote for their TV. The first thing the group did once they got to the second floor was look for a place they could rest. So much had happened since they woken up that they hadn't had time to get a proper rest. Honestly, they just wanted to rest as soon as they could. They were tired from all the walking around, and they needed to get some rest for the constant tension that was plaguing their minds.
休めそうな場所を探すとはいえ、やっぱり階段からは少し離れた方がいいわよね。
I know we're trying to find a place to rest and all, but it'd be best to get away from the staircase, don't you think?
近いとあの人が追ってきそうで怖いです。
Oh, whoops. Oh, right, I forgot. Sorry. Yep, as I may have told you, this game is in, the game's, resolution has been updated for the Switch version compared to its past versions. So you can scroll up and down to see the full, image in the, for lack of a better term, HD mode. Whoops. Hold on a second. As you can see here, this is what it looks like in full, as I showed you before. But since everyone wanted to do it in high def, we're going to do it in the higher resolution mode. We're going to do it in high resolution. Anyway, back to where I was. Okay, and here we go. I'm scared that guy will chase us down if we're too close by. Yeah, that figures. Fumika nodded and looked at her PDA. Truthfully, the group wanted to get to a higher floor as soon as right away. But like the first floor, the nearest stairwell that led to the third floor was barricaded off. They checked the maps, and they found that the stairwell in question was marked with an X. It seemed each stairwell would only take them one flight up. So in the end, they had no choice but to travel across the second floor to get there, hence why they were looking for a place to rest.
ここなんかはどうだろう。階段からはそれなりに距離があるし、隅っこの方であまり人も来そうにはない。
What about this place? It's decently far enough from the staircase, and since it's in the corner, I don't think many people come here.
それに結構広いみたいだから休むにはちょうどいいと思う。
Besides, it seems rather big, so I think it's perfect to rest. Hold on a second. Hazuki was also walking while using his PDA like Fumika, and turned around to the group as he checked the map on his PDA. By this point, he'd already gotten completely used to using the PDA. His life literally depended on it, so it was either learn or die.
どこですか？
Where is it?
これだよ。
Right here. Nagisa looked at Hazuki's PDA screen.
へえ、ここからだと結構遠いですね。
It's pretty far from here, isn't it?
仕方ないわよ。階段から離れたいんだもの。
Not much we can do about that. We want to get away from the stairwell after all. Fumika smiled wryly from behind Hazuki and Nagisa. No matter what happened, Nagisa still traveled to the beat of her own drum. She'd been in this mood the whole time. In a way, perhaps she can be considered the toughest one of them here.
あれ
Huh? For some reason, Hazuki came to a halt at a fork in the hallway. When he did, the rest of the group stopped. Soichi still dragging Sakumi by the hand. What's wrong?
ああ、うん。行き止まりなんだ。
Well, you see, it's a dead end. Hazuki answered with a troubled look on his face. A dead end? That can't be. I mean, there's no dead end on the map. Soichi checked his map, but all he saw was a normal hallway. No dead end whatsoever marked on it.
そのはずなんだがね。ほら。
Yeah, you should be right, but look. Hazuki pointing ahead.
行き止まりだろ。
It's a dead end, isn't it? Oh. Just as Hazuki said, there was a dead end just a little bit ways down the hallway.
もうなんだろう。行き止まりというよりはシャッターかなんかに見えるんだけど。
But for some reason, it looks more like a shutter than it does a dead end. It had a metallic luster to it, unlike all the other dead ends they'd seen in the hallways up till now, which had looked like part of the walls. Let's take a look. Maybe there's a reason for it. No one objected to Soichi's plans. All five of them started heading for the dead end. Maybe there's a fire or something? Soichi pounded on the shutter and got a dull metallic response for his trouble. shutter wasn't like a normal one. It was a thick metal shutter with no gaps in it that seemed designed to block chemical fires.
地図には何も書いてないんだがね。
There's nothing on the map though. But this place is so big that it's plausible enough that they wouldn't have everything drawn on it. It reminds Soichi of a time where his parents had followed their car's GPS to the letter, only to end up stuck in a small alleyway.
私はこの向こうに見られたくないものがあったりするんじゃないかなって思います。
If you ask me, I think they have something they don't want us to see on the other side of this thing. Nagisa hit the shutter with her hands. Something they don't want us to see?
はい、きっと財宝とかが置いてあるんですよ。
Yeah, there's gotta be treasure or something there. Her eyes were gleaming.
財宝って
Treasure? Fumika, shoulders dropped with exasperation. But Hazuki just nodded to himself several
い
times.
や、ふみかさん、案外渚さんの言う通りかもしれないよ。
Hold on, Fumika. I think Nagisa may actually have a point here.
え
Huh?
財宝はともかく、何か我々をここに入れた人間たちに都合の悪いものがこの先にあるっていうのは十分にあり得ると思うんだ。
Treasure aside, I think it's plausible that there's something the people who trapped us here don't want us seeing on the other side of this.
だから地図にも載ってない。
That's why it's not on the map.
なるほど。さすがおじさま。
I see. Pretty good thinking, Mr. Hazuki. Fumika nodded gave an accepting nod. Something they don't want us to see, huh? Soichi looked up at the shutter. Perhaps due to the ceiling's height, it looked like a leaning tower ready to fall over and crush him at a moment's notice. Sakumi let out a confused gasp. Something wrong? Soichi turned around and saw Sakumi looking up at the shutter nervously. It's okay. It's just a shutter, you know? Yes. Soichi's words did little to change Sakumi's expression. She continued looking up anxiously at the shutter. Sakumi?
どうやら開けられそうにないし、回り道をしますかね。
Doesn't look like we can open it, so we're gonna have to find our way around. So Hazuki began looking for a way to open the shutter. But in the end, he hadn't found any such device. Yeah, sounds like a plan.
財宝は探さないんですか？
We're not gonna go look for the treasure?
見つかっても持っていく方法がないでしょ。
And if we did find it, we wouldn't have a way to take it with us, right?
ああ、そうですね。
Oh yeah, you're right. Hazuki turned his back to the shutter and started walking away. Nagisa quickly followed after him, followed by Fumika. They're traveling the same way they had up to now. Let's go, Sakumi. Oops. Sakumi nodded without a word. Soichi took her by the hand and started going after Hazuki and the others. Little did they know that the shutter had been lowered to knock them off guard and keep them still for a moment or so. At that moment, Soichi noticed Hazuki's body sink slightly into the ground. Hazuki sounds surprised. There's a dip in the floor? The spot Hazuki was standing was a few centimeters deep in the floor. It was about 30 centimeters in diameter, and his foot was right in the middle of it. Just then, everyone's PDAs all beeped. Did we trigger some kind of mechanism again? Just as Soichi thought that, something fell from the ceiling.
Nagisa-san!
Realizing what was happening faster than anyone else, Fumika pushed Nagisa out of the way with all her might. Nagisa fell forward, landing on her backside. It was at that very moment that, something fell from the ceiling. They were two metal fences that blocked the hallway. They were made of metal and they looked sturdy. Didn't look like they could be broken with human strength. Are you okay, guys? Fumika shouted from behind this fence. Since the fences were made of a crisscross of bars, Soichi could still make out her face. Seemed she was alright. We're fine.
こっちも大丈夫だ。
We're fine too. Soichi heard Hazuki's voice coming up from further on ahead after he answered. Though there were two fences between them, they could see each other just fine. Seemed like Hazuki and Nagisa were alright. Phew, that's a relief. But we can't stay calm in this situation. Though she confirmed everyone else was safe, the Fumika's face remained just as tense. Soichi was exactly the same. Oh, you want to see the full CG? Yeah, 1 second. Hold on. Here we go. Full CG. Alright, do you want me to stay like this or do you want to go back to the other resolution? I'm just go back to the other resolution for now. That's what we've been doing so far. I'll try lowering a little bit to get there. See if I can get... this should be about good. Where was I? Thanks to the fences, I'll just do the full one for the rest of this one at least. Thanks to the fences that had fallen, the group had been split up into 3. Okay, just skip through this because it's easier to sum this all up at once rather than going through each line individually. One group was Hazuki and Nagisa in the front, Fumika was in between the two with the fences, while Soichi and Sakumi were behind in the second. While Hazuki and Nagisa could move on ahead just fine, Fumika was trapped in the cage of fences, while Soichi and Sakumi were caught between one of the fences and the shutter. There was no way out for them.
どうやらこれもこの建物の仕掛けの一つみたいだね。
Looks like this is one of the building's traps. Or mechanisms. Their PDAs had beeped out a warning. They found a new entry called Traps have been added to their PDAs, explaining the fences. A trap activated by triggering a trap panel or tripwire. Designed to separate groups. It's designed to separate groups rather than killing them, though it has claimed a few casualties on occasion. What should we do now? It doesn't look like we can break these things. Soichi shook the bars. He felt the chill of the icy steel cold bars pass through him as he did. It would be virtually impossible to destroy him with his bare hands.
剣さん
Sakumi was crouching where she stood, her voice trembling with fear. Just then, another mechanism was activated.
今度は何
What now? Oh, hold on one second, hold on one second. Alright, I know this is a very, very odd time to do it, but I'm actually going to take this opportunity to take a 5-minute break for lunch. So I will be back then. Sorry to leave you on this cliffhanger, but the stream will still continue after that, so please wait. Okay, and now we're back. Thank you for waiting. Done the break, so I'll get back to the game right now. Okay, let's check where we were. Fumiko shot her head up at the sound of the gears of a motor suddenly coming to life, and saw the ceiling above her open up and a ladder descend from it. There's one over here. Something's happening over here too. If anything, started happening to Soichi and Sakumi. The shutter behind them slowly began to lift up. I see. So the objective of this thing was to split us up.
ソイチ君、さくみさん、ふみかさん。
Hazuki and Nagisa watched as changes began happening. Sorry. Hazuki and Nagisa, the only one who know changes were happening around, watched over the other three carefully. With the sturdy fences in the way, there was nothing they could do but watch. However... Get down, everyone! Fumika suddenly shouted. Huh? Just as Hazuki's body tensed up instinctively. There was a 20-centimeter pole There was a thin 20-centimeter long pole sticking out of his elbow. The pole was metallic. And the tip had fins on it. A crossbow arrow? Just when Hazuki realized when it was, the second one fired. Alright, the arrow was headed for Hazuki, but hit one of the fences, knocking it off trajectory slightly. The second arrow grazed Hazuki's ear and flew off. But it was at that moment he finally felt the pain of the first arrow. Sakumi screamed when she saw the arrow pierce Hazuki's body. She fell to the ground. Where did it come from? Soichi, behind you! Past the shutter! Past the shutter! Soichi frantically turned around. Oh, right, he was so focused on what was happening over there that he completely failed to focus on the shutter. Someone's attacking us with a crossbow over there. The shutter was almost completely up. That's why there was nothing blocking, there was nothing between Soichi and the person on the other side of it. It couldn't be. Soichi couldn't believe who he saw on the other side. Oh, let's get a better look at this. Gola? But why? Mayumi Goda, who had only been helping them out just a short while ago, was now loading her next arrow into the crossbow. Yep. No, no more. Sakumi completely panicked when she saw Goda, and started shaking her head and backing off in denial. But she was stopped by the sturdy fence behind her. She clung to the fence, shaking her head back and forth. Why? Oh. Why? Why is this happening? No more. No more of this.
現実って絵でしてこんなものなのね、さくみちゃん。
This is just how reality is, Sakumi. One second here. Gola smirked as she brought the crossbow's crank cocker to the bowstring. All she had to do was load another arrow and she'd be ready to fire again.
葉月のおじさん、無事ですか？
Mr. Hazuki, are you okay?
痛むが歩けなくはない。
Yeah, it hurts, but I can still walk. Soichi, who was glaring at Goda with all his attention, mentally breathed a sigh of relief when he heard that. Hazuki was hurt, but the worst possible scenario had been averted. There were about 10 meters between Goda and Soichi and Sakumi. She was aiming at Hazuki, who was completely still, standing completely still. Both arrows had been aimed at him. Gola knew how to use that crossbow, and she knew it well.
宗一君、さくみちゃんを連れて逃げなさい。
Soichi, take Sakumi and run. But where? That's pretty much redundant, so I'm just gonna skip it. She's asking me to run, but there's a fence behind me and Goda in front of me, so where am I supposed to go?
落ち着いて宗一君。君と合田さんの間に横道があるでしょ。
Calm down, Soichi. There's a road to the side between you and Goda, isn't there? Road to the side? Soichi finally noticed it. There was indeed another path between him and Goda that led to the side. Soichi was closer to it than Goda was, so it wasn't impossible for him to run into there. However...
さくみちゃん、立ちなさい、さくみちゃん。
Sakumi, get up, Sakumi. No, no. But could he run away when Sakumi was so frozen in fear? Sakumi! Soichi pushed Sakumi away. The arrow had been heading straight towards Sakumi.
宗一君、さくみちゃん。
Soichi protected Sakumi, his upper arm getting pierced by the arrow. The blood splatter flew all over Sakumi's face. One second. Sakumi started trembling as though she was having convulsions.
さくみちゃん、しっかりしなさい、さくみちゃん。
Sakumi, get a hold of yourself, Sakumi. Sakumi, are you okay? Soichi held Sakumi up, forcing his arm to move despite all the pain. Blood gushed from his arm every time he moved it. Sakumi stared as though she herself were wounded, and continued to let her voice gasp out.
総一くん、大丈夫？
Are you alright, Soichi? Yeah. Soichi responded as he stood up. He kept glaring at Goda the whole time, never letting his guard down once. Goda was trying to load her next arrow. There was no more time left. Sakumi, let's go! No matter what Soichi said, Sakumi remained frozen, unable to get up on her own power. Second. Just when she thought things couldn't get any worse, reality had shown its cruelness to her in the worst way possible. Unable to bear it, her sanity was verging on the brink of collapse. Can I run away while carrying Sakumi? Though she was light, she was still human. And his arm was injured. Those factors worried him, but he'd be shot to death if he stayed here.
ほっといてください。私ここで死にます。お姉ちゃんどうせ私は確かに来ない。
Enough! Just leave me and go. I'll die here. It's not like help's coming for us anyway. Sakumi! Soichi was surprised and couldn't move. Just then, Fumika reached through the fence and slapped Sakumi right across the cheek. She proceeded to grab Sakumi by her sleeve and dragged her up.
いい加減にしなさい。自分で立って走りなさい。
Cut it out already! Get up on your own feet and run!
ダメです。もう私には無理です。放っておいて。
No, I can't do it! Just forget me and go! Sakumi wept. The sorrow of being confined in this place and assaulted by someone she trusted just hours ago. It was all just too sad. Sakumi may not have had the best of lives, but she never had a day as horrible as this.
それでも行くのよ。立って走るの。分かってるの、さくみちゃん。あなたがそこにへたり込んでしまったら、次に死ぬのはあなたじゃない。
You still need to go. Stand up and run. Do you understand? If you just keep sitting there, you're not the one who's gonna die next. Huh?
あなたを守って宗一くんが死ぬのよ。わかるでしょ？
Soichi will die protecting you. Don't you get that?
あなたを守って宗一くんが死ぬのよ。わかるでしょ？
Same line, just different POV right now. Those words were a huge shock to Sakumi. Her attention shifted to Soichi, who was standing between her and Goda. Mitsurugi will die in my place? Sakumi remembered everything that happened to her after she woke up here one after another. It had all been horrible. First she'd been kidnapped, then confined, then she witnessed a gruesome death, been betrayed, and now attacked. But Soichi was always by her side in all of those memories. He held her up whenever she was about to fall down. And now here he was, bleeding out from an arrow. Fumiko was right. If Goda fired another arrow, Soichi would protect Sakumi in a heartbeat yet again. He wouldn't abandon her and run. Sakumi had come to believe that by now. That conviction shined a faint light through the clouds that day's events had cast on her mind. But also meant that if she didn't move, all that awaited Soichi was certain death. That would be the same as killing her himself. Her killing him herself. When she realized that, Sakumi's head cleared up. Goda right in front of her. The path to the side, the fences, the shutter, and the wounded Soichi. All that information sorted out through her head and entered her mind. And with that, Sakumi took back the reins of her own mind. She was still scared and anxious. That those emotions were still in her. But she had finally tamed them. I'm sorry, Mitsurugi. I'm okay now. Sakumi! Soichi glanced at Sakumi's face for a second. Her eyes were filled with strength. And though her face was pale, all the panic had faded away. Relieved, Soichi looked back at Goda. Goda finished loading her crossbow and aimed at Soichi and Sakumi yet again. This was the... let me think of the best term. Her time was impeccable. I almost made one wonder if she'd just been waiting for Sakumi to calm down. You done talking now? Then Goda smiled the way she had when she first met them. But Soichi and Sakumi were now fully aware it was all just an act. Everything she'd done up to this point had been an act. A trick to make them lower their guards. Sakumi, we're about to go run to that path to the side over there. Do not look behind me, no matter what. Soichi said that while never letting his eyes off of Goda. Yes, but... but take this. Sakumi handed Soichi her school bag. It was leather and crammed with textbooks and notebooks, so it would serve as a shield. Be careful, you guys. We'll meet up later. Same to you guys. They wished they could pick a rendezvous point too, but they didn't have time for that. They had to. It was all they could do just to focus on protecting themselves right now. Let's go, Sakumi. Right. Sakumi not responded enthusiastically. She then kicked a piece of rubble at her feet. She knocked it straight towards Goda.
外れよ、さくみさん。
You missed. It missed Goda, but thanks to that, Go looked to the side, losing her concentration off the crossbow for a second. Now was their best chance to escape. Run! Soichi and Sakumi took off at the same time. Goda shot them, but the small distraction she had done meant that it only grazed Soichi's cheek this time and flew off all the way up to next week. Sakumi! Right. The crossbow couldn't fire again soon. The next arrow wouldn't be anywhere close. So they had to get away before she loaded it. The two of them ran to the side path without looking as fast as they could without looking once behind them.
これでよしと。
Phew. This is good enough now. Go didn't even bother trying to load another arrow. And simply threw the crossbow aside. She put her hands on her hips with a sigh.
これでいい感じに散ったはずだけど。
This should have split them up pretty nicely. Soichi and Sakumi were running right down the path in front of her. Fumika had gone up the ladder. Hazuki and Nagisa had gone back the way they'd come. Now that they'd all been split up, it would be hard for them to meet up again.
あとはみんな次第かな。頑張ってね。見せ場もなしに合流したりしちゃ嫌よ。
Hold on a second. Okay, here I go. The rest depends on you guys, I suppose. Good luck. It'd be boring if you all met up again without giving a good show. And so, with a satisfied smile on her face, go to the left. I'm in the save at this point. Sakumi, let's go in this room. Right. Soichi pushed Sakumi into a small room and started looking around to make sure no one was following them. No one's coming, huh? Had they shaken off Goda? Tezuka wasn't coming after them, was he? They couldn't rest in peace unless they were sure of that.
剣さん
Sakumi called to Soichi from in the room. She was looking at the crossbow arrow still stuck in his upper arm. Fortunately, it hadn't hit a vital area, so it wasn't bleeding too much, but it still hadn't stopped yet. His uniform was stained red around there, and the stains spread with time. I'm sorry, Sakumi, could you stay quiet for a little while? But Soichi ignored Sakumi and carefully went back the way they came. He peeked out in the hallway in the corner, then ran back to the room. Looks like we're safe. No one's coming.
みつるぎさん
Soichi's face had a hint of relief on it. Sakumi puffed her cheeks a little when she saw him like that, and grabbed Soichi with her right hand. Sakumi?
早くこっちに来てください
Hurry up, please come in here. Sakumi dragged Soichi into the room.
そこに座ってくださいみつるぎさん
Please sit there, Mitsurugi. Sure. Sakumi sat Soichi down on one of the wooden boxes in the room, and then circled around to his left side.
痛みますか
Does it hurt? She stared at the arrow for a moment before, but she quickly regained her sense of mind and looked at Soichi's face. It was hurting up till now, but now it just feels hot.
手当てをしたいので矢を抜いていいですか
Would you like it if I did some first aid on you and pulled the arrow out? She pulled out a first aid kit and showed to Soichi. Well, sure, but where'd you get that thing?
今みつるぎさんが座ってる箱の中で見つけました他にもいろいろ入っていましたけどとりあえず手当てをしたくてこれだけ出しました
It was in the box you're sitting on just now. There were other things in there too, but I only took that out because I wanted to focus on treating you first. In this box? Soichi started to get up on instinct.
みつるぎさん
Right, sorry. He sat back down after Sakumi's stern reprimand.
お願いですから手当てをさせてください
Please let me treat you. She was serious. Soichi's willpower faded when he saw the dead serious look in her eyes. Please go ahead, Sakumi. Alright. Then she finally gave a little smile.
抜きますよ
I'm gonna pull it out now. Do it all at once if you can. She gripped the arrow that was sticking out of Soichi's upper left arm with both her hands. A slight twinge of pain ran through him when she grabbed it, and Soichi grimaced slightly.
ちょっとだけ我慢しててくださいね
Please bear with it for a little while, okay? Sure. Sakumi took a deep breath and pulled the arrow out with all her might. Ow! Fortunately, she got the arrow out in one go, but as a result, Soichi's body was racked with intense pain. He gripped the wound with all his might.
みつるぎさんみつるぎさん
Sakumi crouched down and looked at Soichi's face from below. She was looking at him with concern. I'm okay. He didn't want to make her worry forever, so Soichi endured the pain and looked up and lifted his head up. The intense pain was gradually starting to fade, and eventually he found he could bear it.
服脱げますか
Could you take off your clothes? Sakumi stood up and touched Soichi's left arm. She had to get his shirt off if she was to treat the wound. Oh, wait, no, sorry. Can you take your clothes off? Yeah, probably. Soichi carefully took off his clothes so as not to aggravate his wounds any further. I'm gonna go see. Okay. So just a thing here, I guess, since this happened earlier. You think I should switch to like original resolution when we get to CGs, or should I just keep it in full and like higher resolution for the CGs too, like I do for the main sprites and all that? All right, 1 second. Okay, so I'll keep the CGs in original resolution then from now on. Sakumi helped him take off his jacket and shirt, leaving him with only a t-shirt. The t-shirt's left sleeve was stained red. That was right where he'd gotten wounded.
消毒します。痛みますからまた我慢してくださいね。
I'll disinfect it. It'll hurt, so can you please bear with it? Yeah. Sakumi rolled up his sleeve and pulled out a disinfectant from the first aid kit. Soichi looked back into the box to see there were quite a lot of things in there. It stood out as quite a sore thumb amongst all the dusty objects in this room, in this building. This is the only thing that's new. Had it been put there on purpose? Soichi couldn't figure that out. Hold on a second. Okay. The other captors had forced them to fighting, and also left them with a first aid kit to prolong their lives. Soichi couldn't help but find that a paradox. What's the point in doing something like this? Ow! Soichi's thoughts were cut off when the disinfectant grazed him.
じっとしてください。さっきよりは痛くないはずです。
Please hold still. It shouldn't hurt as much as pulling out the arrow did. You say that, but pain is still pain, you... Because of the event that happened, he unconsciously almost said another name. Huh? Oh, nothing. Look, pain is pain. Please get the painful part over with. I mean, no, sorry. Sorry, I don't know why I misread it that way. Yeah, I see why I misread it that way, sorry. No, sorry. Pain is still pain. It's just a different kind of pain from earlier. Soichi corrected himself.
言わないでください、みつるぎさん。
Now is not the time to act like a child, Mitsurugi. Sakumi seemed to pay no particular attention to his revision and smiled wryly as she continued to treat him. Is this good enough? She finished wrapping the bandage around him. and then used a hook made out of plastic and made out of rubber and metal to keep it in place.
痛むでしょうけど、少し動かしてみてください、みつるぎさん。
It'll hurt, but please try moving it a little, Mitsurugi. Alright. Soichi slowly moved his left arm as told. His wound throbbed a little, but wouldn't pose much of an issue. The bandage also seemed to be firmly in place. Looks like it's okay. Thanks, Sakumi.
いいえ、このくらいお安いご用です。やっとお役に立てましたね。
Oh no, it was no trouble at all. Finally proving of use, am I? Sakumi closed the first aid kit and smiled happily. You don't have to worry about that, seriously. Soichi smiled as well. It seems she had been constantly worried, bothered by how she'd been about her uselessness. But to Soichi, just having her around held special meaning to him. You've been a big help just by being here with me.
本当ですか？
Really?
例えばどんな？
How so? Sakumi looked up at Soichi a bit anxiously. She was thinking Soichi was just saying that to be nice. Well, let's see. Soichi pondered for a second. But then he thought of something that would, something to say that would give no misunderstandings whatsoever. I'd be scared if I were here all on my own, Sakumi. Scared? Yeah. It'd be so lonely by myself. I think I'd go crazy without having someone to talk here for 3 days. Sakumi's face lightened up a little. So that's why having you around is already a big help.
剣さん、
It's the same even now. I can't imagine how terrifying it would have been to get injured and have to run around all on my own in a place like this. I wonder what kind of look would be on my face then. Sakumi also thought about that. If she would have been here all alone. If she'd been attacked by Goda and Tezuka or been injured. She pondered how she'd feel then. And there was a look on his face to think about too. So please don't feel like you have to force yourself to be useful or anything, Sakumi. All I want is for you to be there until the end without dying. There was also one other reason. But Soichi didn't say it.
ありがとうございます。
Yes, thank you. Sakumi nodded with a smile. But the fact he made her smile was exactly why she wanted to be of use to him. I see, there sure are a lot of things in here, huh?
はい、
Yes. Soichi opened the box he'd been sitting on and looked inside. Sakumi looked on right beside him. She'd already looked in it once, but she didn't actually really know what was in there. She'd been so focused on treating Soichi that her attention was solely on the only thing that looked like it could help him out at the time. Oh, looks like we've got food in here too, Sakumi. Soichi took something out of the box. It was emergency rations. There was also a portable stove and pot right next to the food.
みつるぎさん、これ
Mitsurugi, this is... Sakumi started acting strange. Hmm? She held something pole-shaped out to Soichi.
こんなものが入ってました。
This was also in there. This is a knife, isn't it? It's a pretty big one, too. She was holding a large knife. It was in a sheath, but he could tell just how big the blade itself was just from the size of the sheath. Right. It seemed about as wide, perhaps as wide as the kind used to chop up vegetables. Is this what they call a combat knife? Soichi took the knife from Sakumi and carefully pulled it out of the sheath. When he did, a blade bigger than he expected came out. It was a sharp blade made out of some sort of thick alloy that reflected on Soichi's face. The oily polish on the blade gleamed the 7 colors of the rainbow. His heart churned with anxiety at the sight of that dull light. Are you telling us to fight with this? That was the thought that came to Soichi. Perhaps Go's crossbow had in a box just like this.
すごいですね。
It's huge. Sakumi gulped, perhaps feeling just as nervous as he was. Yeah, but I'm glad you found it. It looks useful.
便利
How so? Well, you know, we've finally got food now, so we can use it. So it'd be a pretty big problem if we couldn't open the cans with it. Soichi looked into the bag of rations and poked one of the cans with the tip of the knife.
みつるぎさん、最近の缶詰は缶切りなんていりませんよ。
You know, Mitsurugi, you don't have to cut open cans these days. The tension faded from Sakumi's face and her smile returned. But we'll need something to cook with anyway, since this didn't come with a cooking knife. Soichi sheathed the knife and pointed back into the box.
確かにそうですね。
Now you mention it, you're right. Sakumi giggled, finding it oddly amusing. Not much I can do. I mean, we only did just escape that crossbow attack. Soichi loosened up a little when he saw Sakumi's smile. He understood well why she got nervous when she saw weapons. Are you good at cooking, Sakumi?
はい、一通りは。
Yes, well, the basics anyway. A different kind of smile appeared on Sakumi's face. She looked a bit proud of herself. I'm not too shabby at cooking myself, but only good enough to get decent grades in home economics.
それなら私がやります。
Then I'll do it. Sakami took the portable stove and the pot out of the box. Can I count on you? Yes. Then I'll let you have the knife. Alright. Soichi put the combat knife on top of the portable stove and pot. But Sakami's smile didn't fade because she no longer looked at the knife as something to be afraid of. Now she saw it as something to be used for cooking. Huh? But suddenly she stopped laughing. Something wrong?
三剣さん、あれは何でしょう。
What's that, Mitsurugi?
このあったところに何かがあります。
Mitsurugi, what's that? There's something right where the stove was. Sakami was looking right where the stove had been. Soichi looked in the box and found a plastic box lying there about as big and thick as a matchbox. It appeared this had been on top of the stove. Wonder what this is. Soichi picked it up. It's pretty light. He put it on his palm and stared at it. Some kind of... Is this a part for something? A metal terminal was sticking out of it.
ツールプレイヤーカウンター
Tool player counter? What is it, Sakami?
書いてあるんです。ほら。
It's written there. See? Sakami's slender finger traced the surface of it. Tool player counter. Black Gothic letters were written on the box. Player counter? What's that?
いとこのゲームソフトみたいです。
Looks like one of those game cartridges my cousin has. Oh! Soichi quickly took out his PDA at Sakami's casual comment. I knew it! Soichi turned the PDA to its side and saw the small connector that laid there. Its size matched up perfectly with the plastic box. The connector on the bottom side of the PDA was to connect with the collar. Up till now they hadn't figured out a point for the connector on the side, but it seemed it was for these things. Soichi casually tried to put it in the connector, but Sakami grabbed his hand and stopped him.
三剣さん、そんなものを取り付けちゃって大丈夫でしょうか。
Are you sure it's safe to...
人みたいになっちゃったりしないでしょうか。
Mitsurugi, are you sure it's safe to put that thing in there? You won't end up like that man, will you? Sakami stared at Soichi nervously. She was worried he'd be breaking the rules if he did that. Soichi also got worried. Was this allowed? Was this defined by the rules? Just then, Soichi's PDA beeped. Whoa, what's going on? He almost dropped the PDA, but Soichi stared at the screen. When he did, he saw the functions entry flashing. Seems something new had been added to it. PDA function expansion? The new entry had a photo of the matchbox and an explanation of its function. By putting this toolbox into this PDA side connector, you can install new function software into your PDA and customize it. By adding new software, you can gain huge advantage over other players. However, powerful software consumes a large amount of battery quickly. Powerful software is designed so that it consumes a lot of battery quickly. Your PDA will be rendered unfunctional if you use them too many times, and you'll be unable to remove your collar if that happens, so please exercise caution. Furthermore, you can only install a single toolbox once on one PDA. Please decide carefully which PDA you'll install it onto.
どういうことですか?
What does it mean? Looks like the PDA will get a new function if you put this in. So this is... Sakumi stared at a confusion. Maybe she didn't get it yet. Doesn't look like it's a trap, so I'll give it a try.
大丈夫でしょうか?
Are you sure you'll be okay? Sakumi was still worried. Don't worry, I'll be fine. You're worrying too much.
だといいんですが。
I hope so. Soichi understood what Sakumi was getting at. But according to what the explanation said, there was more than just one of these software, and they seemed very useful. If there were a lot of these things, then it'd be dangerous if Soichi and Sakumi were the only ones not using it. Perhaps. It'd be bad if something like the incident with Goda and the crossbow happened again. Soichi was worried about being at the receiving end of another attack like earlier. Do I do it like this? Soichi connected the plastic box into the PDA with a light clack. It beeped again, and a new screen appeared. Player counter function adds a counter of the remaining number of players to the top of the screen. Battery consumption low. Install? Yes or no? So it doesn't eat much battery, huh? Then there shouldn't be much problem with it. Soichi tapped yes. Installing. Please wait for a little while. Caution. Please do not remove the connector while it is installing. No, please not remove from connector while installing. There's a possibility of damaging it. A progress bar appeared under it. Appeared like an installation bar for progress. Install complete. Please remove toolbox from connector. Soichi removed the box and turned on his PDA to return to the original screen. Time since start of the game, 23 hours and 4 minutes. Remaining time, 49 hours and 56 minutes. Rules, functions, release condition. The same old entries were there. Oh! But there was a new entry right under it. Remaining players, 12.
どうですか？
How's it look? There's no need to worry, Sakumi. It did exactly what it said it would. Sakumi's face showed clear relief at Soichi's answer. Oops.
それで何が追加になったんですか？
So something was added then? It's a number of remaining players. Soichi showed Sakumi his PDA.
12名ってことはまだみんな無事ってことですね。
12. That means everyone's still okay? Sakumi's face lighting when she saw the screen. Yep. They all got away from Goda. Soichi gave an agreeing smile. Remaining players. To put a counter for something like that meant that they had much more dangerous things in store for them. Otherwise, there'd be no need for something like this. It clearly demonstrated the intentions of those who had trapped Soichi and the others in there. Soichi realized that, but he didn't tell Sakumi.
心配したり安心したりしていたらお腹が空いてきました。そろそろご飯にしましょう、三剣さん。
All this worrying and whatnot is making me hungry. Why don't we eat now? Soichi didn't want to shatter her brilliant smile. Once they finished eating, Soichi and Sakumi agreed to take turns sleeping. Soichi sat where he could see the door, while Sakumi laid next to him, wrapped in a blanket they'd found. Soichi had placed a cardboard box filled with empty cans and other kinds of metal in front of the door to use as a makeshift alarm. That way, if someone opened the door even slightly, the box would rattle loudly. Soichi stared at the box, but then he heard a sound coming from somewhere else. He saw Sakumi turning over in her sleep. She was supposed to be asleep, but she was staring right his way, facing right his way. Appeared she was awake. She was staring right at Soichi. You couldn't sleep, huh?
今日はいろいろなことがありすぎて
It's just too much has happened today. Though she indicated she couldn't sleep, Sakumi's voice was nasal. Perhaps her body was almost asleep by this point. Yeah, I still can't believe it either. Waking up in an empty room. Meeting Sakumi. The mysterious man's death. Meeting and separating with the others. Re-encountering them as enemies. Getting attacked and injured. Fleeing, getting split up and fleeing with Sakumi, and ending up here. Even though he recalled everything that happened that day, Soichi still couldn't accept it all as reality. It felt like he was watching a movie. But that man really had died. And the wounds on his arm was all too real. That spoke all about the reality they were in. No matter how much he wished otherwise, no matter how much he didn't want to believe it, this was reality. You know, it's strange. This should be the first time we've ever met. Huh?
今日って会ったばかりなの。どうもそんな気がしなくて。もっとそうずっと前から一緒だったような気が。
We should have only just met today, but it doesn't feel that way at all. Yeah, it feels like we've been together for much longer than that. Sakami closed her eyes like a child. Yeah, you're right. Soichi agreed. It didn't feel like this was the first time he met her either. Or perhaps that was itself was the most unbelievable fact about all of this for him.
三木さんはどうして私を守ってくれるんですか？
Hey, Mitsurugi, why are you protecting me? Sakami's voice was faint. That's a good question. I wonder why myself. Soichi was reluctant to answer. You're not going to tell me? She sounded somewhat betrayed by that response. Or is that just Soichi's imagination? No, that's not it at all. Actually, I was drawn to you the first moment I laid eyes on you. A truly amused smile appeared on Sakami's face. But it quickly faded as she felt herself being dragged off into slumber. She was probably going to fall asleep soon. If that's true, then And then there was silence. Sakami? All that answered Soichi was her peaceful breath as she slept. She'd completely fallen asleep. Why did I save you, huh? Soichi's gaze returned to the cardboard box. Probably for my own sake. Soichi muttered that, knowing there was no one else around to listen to him. For some reason, there was a note of regret in his voice. I'll protect her. This time for sure. Alright, the scene is titled The Start of the Second Day, so now we're on day 2 now. I'd like to take this opportunity to do 2 things. 1, if anyone would like to make any bets now, and 2, to ask if you'd like me to keep on going. I think I can keep on going, but I'll see. I'll be back in about 3 minutes, so I'll wait for your answers then. Okay, I'm back now. It doesn't seem like there's been much response, so I think I'm just gonna end the stream here for now, since it's the start of the second day and probably a good point to leave off on. As for when I plan to stream next, I might stream later today, depending on how things go. Tomorrow, it would be a bit more complicated. I think if I'd stream tomorrow, it'd have to be early in the morning because tomorrow's Father's Day, so I'll be busy then. But after that, for the rest, I do plan on weekdays streaming at like from 8 to 10 or 11, depending on how things go. So yeah, we'll see. Will you stream later today, or early tomorrow, or Monday next? If by early I mean like something like 8-9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so that's pretty early. So yeah, I think I'm gonna stop here for now. Now with that said, I'll end the stream here. Hope you all enjoyed it, and pick this up next time. As you can see that where you've pretty much hit the, what's it called? Now we've hit the second day. Things are changing more, so there'll be more change to come, and we'll see how it goes then. Until then, bye, and see you next time.